We're gonna do a song that you never heard before. The volume.
Here they come and get wicked. Here we go again.
It's Kennedy, my brother from another mother. What up, though?
What it do, bro?
What's happening, man?
Hey, what y'all weather looking like, bro?
Yo, so we getting some snow out here, though, bro. And it's funny because the wild part about it is that the snow it came down late. So like when we had it the first time it snowed, it was real cool because it felt like on Christmas Story, right? You wake up and it's snow everywhere and it looked gorgeous, right? This time the snow came down probably about 3:30, 4 o'clock. So
Yeah.
it's like the middle of the day, basically, though, man. And so and it starts to like be little snow, and then it just started to pick up and everything. So it's probably about maybe about an inch or two out there. Enough that you can have a good little snowball fight out there if you wanted to, man. But I was over it since the last time, so I was just like, it wasn't that big of a deal. Plus, it's already dark outside anyway, so it didn't hit like that.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, yeah. I just knew I was gonna wake up to the kids being canceled for school and for everything. Oklahoma was like, bruh, y'all used to this. What it is like? They ain't canceled nothing, bro. And so
Well, see, for us, we don't even cancel it. We just have a digital day, and they'll throw a digital day out there fast. Like they had a digital day out there for today that they did in advance, right? And then they already got one out there for tomorrow as well, though. So yeah, it was already on. And I think that they might go back on Thursday, but as long as there's ice out on the main road, I think that they'll keep them home, though, bro.
nah, bro. They sent a message early this morning. Make sure you send them devices back for the digital day. Y'all bring them kids and bring them devices back. I was like, boy, they wasn't playing this morning, bro. But look, man, we missed it last time. We got to get the music this time.
Let's do it.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast
Can you
of
dig
all
it?
time.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Hey, listen, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers YouTube and Facebook pages. Why? So we live on both platforms at the same time. You click on the notification, you click on the bell, you get the heads up whenever your boys and bitches doing their thing. Ace Kennedy. I don't know how we gonna act out here in this snow this time around, though, bro. I think that the first time we was wilding out because again, this is the first time that snow has stuck in probably 9 years for us, right? And I think that it's interesting too, man, because now that we showed out the first time, I wouldn't put it past Atlanta to run it back again and show out again, though, man. So listen, I expect though fully. Maybe it's because the snow came down late that it might not be as popping, but we'll see though, man. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when I got off work, it was already the streets was already clear, so it didn't even have a long shelf life. But I heard it's supposed to be, freezing like this all week because yeah,
Mm.
it got bad last night when we left Deuce's game. It was already like the cars was covered. I was just like, bruh, it was wild. I was like, yo, I had to make sure he was good because he was actually sick and he had his flu game yesterday. So I was just like, yeah, make sure you text me when you get home. So
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we straight. We straight so far though, man. I think it got us late. So yeah.
Yeah. So man,
Hey, I have to ask you.
yeah.
Did you watch? Did you watch any of the national championship yesterday?
Not a wink.
I,
I cut the game on when I cut it on when they were interviewing the quarterback for Ohio State. And that was it. I didn't watch, like, I didn't see not one play, not one.
Me neither, bro. And you know what's crazy? Wasn't particularly interested in it. I think that it's like once Texas was out of it, I was just like,
My season is over. I don't need to see football.
yeah.
No.
I don't even care who won. I mean, like, and this is my thing. I guess don't get me wrong. The one thing that I can say is that I do like the idea of like historic teams winning, you know what I'm saying? Like traditionally powerhouse teams winning. I do like that it adds to the lore of when your team finally gets theirs. Like I totally get that it adds to it though, right? Especially seeing that Ohio State hadn't had one in a long time. And they've had some good teams and they put some really good players into the NFL that they thought should have. But I think that it is interesting though, bro. Like when I look at them just last year, there were people who were calling for Ryan Day to be fired, bro. And then fast forward, here it is. They won a championship, and this boy's out here the hottest thing since sliced bread, bro.
That's what I was just about to ask you that question. Does this save his job?
I don't listen. I don't think that his job has ever been in jeopardy. I think what it does though is that here's the thing I look at. Okay. What I look at is this. It really shows that the blueprint now for winning the national championship and having competitive teams is gonna be the teams where if you have the money, if you have the NIL, because you think about it though, right? I mean, I think that Ohio State paid good for their players, right, for a couple of years. I'm gonna assume that Notre Dame has some pretty deep pockets as well. We already know Texas got the money. You saw the Instagram with all the players with the Lambos out there. I think that if you want your team to be one of those teams, you're gonna have to start paying more. So I expect that for Ohio State, that and even the Penn States of the world and all these other teams, I think that the transfer portal and NIL money. I think that this particular season just showed more and more that is the way to go. Though that's simple as plain though.
And that's exactly why Nick Saban got out when he did.
I agree with you. And there was a coach that was out in Miami for basketball who did the same thing. He basically said, listen, we got to the Final Four last year, right? And then we come back this year, and I got four of my top guys basically say, listen, man, if y'all not gonna pay me to stay here, I'm about to go ahead and slide then. We got far. But if you ain't gonna pay me better, more NIL money, I'm out. And those four guys left, and he was like, "What we doing here?" Because I thought that we were trying to win a national championship. I was here for thinking that we were trying to build on the program, and he was just like, "That wasn't what I thought it was." And so he was like, "I'm not the guy for this." So I think that if Nick said, "Listen, respectfully, I can respect that." I'm all for players for getting their money, especially in college, seeing that. You got Alabama football basically funds Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Whole cities are built on the back of these college players. So I do think that they should be getting paid and get whatever. If you don't have a salary cap, whatever. But I also can understand from a coach to be like, that's all cool. This is where I walk away into the sunset because this isn't for me. So I'm not mad at Saban for doing it. But I think that he clearly walked, but it levels the playing field, right? Because now you can't just get all the players based off of what you did in the past. Now other schools
it doesn't level the playing field. I have to disagree with you there. It doesn't level the playing field because some schools can't afford to keep up.
Okay. So here's the thing about it. I think that where it levels the playing field is this. Clemson, for example. Clemson could have put the bread up, but didn't want to put the bread up. They didn't want to dabble into the transfer portal. And because of that, they didn't get as high a quality of athletes, 5 stars, that the other schools did get, right? So it showed, right? Those little things make a difference when you got a 4-star lined up against a 5-star at different positions, though. So I think that, so don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that there are people who can get it, but at the same time, you just have to know if you want to be competitive. If you're Boise State, for example, Boise State has been on the map football wise for at least the last 25, 30 years, right? So you've been around enough to where you can start to set money aside for your players if you really want to get the guys from down south to come out there, right? I mean, if not, then you're going to have to just settle for beating up on people in your conference and then still facing in the playoff a team who just got more superior athletes than you do, though, bro. So what I'm saying is that it balanced out the probability or the playing field in the sense that if you build a bag up, then you can get those same guys if you can
Right.
recruit
But
them
that's
that way.
the thing, though. I think that it didn't level the playing field because before you just had talent that wanted to go to certain schools. Then now you got schools that can pay to have the talent there. But what I'm saying is like Oklahoma, they can't compete with what we paying players. So
Why can't they? Why can't they?
because they don't have the support to do so. So what I'm saying is it's the truth. They don't have the same type of money to pay like Texas could pay. They not paying all of their linemen 50,000 like we are.
I'm not counting this. I'm not counting. I don't know Oklahoma's soonest pocket.
I'm just
But
telling you.
I know that every time I come out there to Oklahoma, everything is OU medical, OU this. They got OU got some money, bro.
But I understand what you're saying, but I'm just telling you that, for instance, when it was time to move to the SEC, Oklahoma, it took them a minute to get that money to get the buyout. Texas was ready.
Listen, I'm not saying that they got to have listen, bro. Listen. I just think personally, bro, that if you are a Power 5 team, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to have the bag. Now, if you just can't recruit the guys over going to Texas, if Texas just has a better, NIL program,
it's money, bro. I'm telling you.
No, I get that, but I'm saying if I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is this: I'm saying that to me, if you know that money is the issue, right? This is a perfect example of that, right? Because Texas A&M put up the bag a couple of years ago, and it didn't work out for them. But they had a bag for their team, right? And I think that it at least gave them even though they eventually failed and it didn't work out for them, it at least put them player-wise on the same caliber as Alabama, as an LSU, all these other schools. It just didn't work out for them for that particular season or two, and they got rid of Jimbo Fisher. But what I'm saying is that A&M, I don't know. I'm assuming that A&M, you and I, we're big on Texas, so we think Texas is the bigger school, bigger alumni, whatever. But if A&M can get the donors to put together the bag, surely Oklahoma can, bro. Surely OSU can. If you want to compete on the big boy levels, you got to come with paying your players the bag. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, they understand that. They just don't have the funding to do it. They don't.
Well, then you out of the game. These are the new rules. These are the new rules. The new rules.
I understand that, but what you're saying is supporting my claim on that's why it doesn't level the playing field. Because what I'm saying is
it does. Rocky the Real is not going to OSU if Texas is going to pay him more money. Now, if OU pays him the same amount of money that Texas would pay him, then it's a matter of who's recruiting him better. That's what I'm saying. That's what makes it
makes sense. But if you don't have it to pay, you can't pay. That's what I'm trying to explain.
Step up to the big boy leagues. If you want to play with the big boys, you got to pay with the big boys, though, bro. Shout out to Rocky the Real, though. Play running back out there at OSU. He played out there with Tatum Bell and all them boys that was out there in the big league.
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't watch any of it either, though, man. I wasn't that interested. And I guess to me, I can understand the whole Midwest nostalgia of it. I particularly don't care about the Midwest nostalgia. I for years thought that the Big Ten and like Notre Dame were like overrated. I thought that there were some years where I did love like the David Boston, Eddie George years. And for that matter, I did enjoy when we were in high school watching the Jerome Bettis years and everything like that. But I don't care about the Michigan and OSU game like, you know what I'm saying, like somebody would from the Midwest. So it wasn't that big of a deal for me, though.
Yeah. I will say my favorite thing that the favorite news that I got football wise is who we have secured for our head coach as the Chicago Bears. We
Let's
out here,
talk about it, bro. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
yeah. So we secured the bag, I guess you want to say. We got Ben Johnson, bro. And I will say that's a huge accomplishment because the Bears uh classically haven't been able to do big things. Like they always just fall short. So now that we have an offensive minded person, they can see the downfall of the team is the offensive line. Like we have to address it. And so I like that he's trying to hit the ground running. And I know a lot of Lions fans are upset about the fact that they losing both of their coordinators,
It happens.
especially with how close the Lions always get these last couple of years. So it's got to be frustrating, but at the same time, like, yeah, it's a big get for the Bears. I'm super happy for Caleb for it. I feel like, I like that they were swinging for big names too. Only name that I was like, I don't want you to, is Mike McCarthy. I just didn't. I don't think that he's a bad coach, but I will say the bad taste of Dallas was in my mouth. Pause. No Diddy and everything.
The bad taste of Dallas in my mouth is crazy. It's crazy.
Oh, listen, I had to listen. I don't never say pause in my life, but
It's crazy, bro. That
that
was
was
that was that
that
was
was
insane, bro.
that
That
was
was
like
like
your
insane,
basketball
bro.
conversation, bro. That was like your basketball conversation right there. That's what it made me immediately think about.
The basketball was the worst. I think my basketball may have been worse
It
though.
was worse, but that's what it made me feel like after I said it. Like immediately after I said it, I was like, oh no,
The,
this don't
the,
even
the bad part about it is when on the basketball, I tried to clean it up and it still got worse though, bro. I was just like, whatever though, man. God damn.
Yeah, but the fact that we like Mike, they was going after Mike Tomlin if he was going to be available. You know what I'm saying? They were swinging for everybody, and I appreciate it. I like our general manager. I think he's a very cool dude. He's a young dude, and I think he sees the vision and he knows what this team could be, and he don't want to let it slip through. I mean, obviously that's his job, but he don't want to let this opportunity slip between the cracks where we're just not competitive. Like we need, if we can get an offensive line, we have the weapons around Caleb to really do something. And then people will see what I've been saying for the last 5 years. Doesn't matter who's back behind center. If we don't have an offensive line to protect him, it doesn't matter. Because I honestly, because the Steelers are really considering letting Justin be the QB1 for next year. And I feel like he would have an opportunity to show people that he's a good quarterback. He just need an offensive line. So yeah.
So the one thing I thought that was pretty cool, I saw this because I follow the Saints on Bleacher Report. Anytime anything associated with Saints pops up, I get this notification. But I think I saw one thing that said that the Bears were entertaining trying to get the Saints last head coach, as their defensive coordinator. I think that would be a good look. Now, because I think that he was horrible coach, horrible head coach, great defensive coach. I think that we just picked him on up for stability, but I think that he'll do good if he goes back to being a defensive coordinator, though, man. But they say, though, that you guys are supposed to have a star-studded coaching staff. And what I wonder, though, is that I understand that, people brought him there as an offensive-minded coach. I just wondered, I wonder who is he going to call the plays? Like if I'm him, if you brought me in because of my play calling, and if I'm him, I want to call my own plays. I want to live and die with me calling my own plays. Like I respected Mike McCarthy even though he had Schottenheimer as his offensive coordinator. Mike McCarthy called the plays, and if you do that and you live and die by that, then that's I can respect that.
Me too. I hope he does too. And if I'm the Lions, I'm trying to get Eric Bieniemy, bro.
So that makes sense to me. But here's the thing. I think that one of the things that really messed it up for me with Eric B. I used to really go. Eric B. and his lack of success since leaving Kansas City just makes me believe that it was Andy Reid the whole time. And I could be wrong on that. The reason why I say that is because he went out to Washington, had his opportunity there, and they looked like Dookie. But it wasn't his fault.
I
I
was just
think that
about
they
to say
were
that,
building a
man.
line. Yeah. They were still building, but they let it go early. But he goes on out to UCLA, and it's college and everything, and they let him go. And I just wonder what I wonder is that he seems like he would be a good person to have as an offensive mind on your team. I just wonder if the OC is where you want to have him at. Like I think he should be. He's an NFL coach. I just don't know if it's head coach, and I don't know if it's OC.
Yeah, I don't know if it's head coach because he has an old school mentality, and I don't think that a lot of the adult players would rock with him talking to them the way that he does.
Well, I think a lot of them do,
No,
apparently.
no,
But
no. That's what was a lot
here's
of the reports coming out of Washington was some of the that was some of the things that was coming out of Washington. That was like,
yeah.
bro, he be talking to people crazy. And so I don't know. Some people rock with that. Some people like it's different, right? Because you're not dealing with college players. You're dealing with like you look at you ain't never see CD Lamb acting the way he acted when he was in Oklahoma, bro. And then when he
He got money. He got money, and they say when you get that money, it makes you more of the person you are. And so I think that that's how CD Lamb probably always was. But he got that bag, and now you can't tell him nothing because he got the bag and the loan contract.
but that's what I'm. But again, you helping my point every time you open your mouth because I'm saying
I do that.
all them ninjas got money. So what I'm saying,
But CD Lamb's contract is longer than the coach's quarterback. So it's hard for you to discipline somebody and be on somebody who's technically going to be with the team longer than you.
I understand that, but that's all the more reason why I don't think it would work out with him being head coach because that's what I'm saying. He doesn't make the money enough to be able to little bro me like that. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think that I don't think that he could get away with it the way Mike Tomlin could.
I absolutely don't think so because I think
right, because I think that Mike Tomlin's and not just that though. I think that the Steelers have clearly showed that ownership is behind Mike Tomlin and whatever he want to do. So for that matter, though, man, I get it. You know the one thing that I did have a good laugh at, though, man. I did have a good laugh at the expense of the Dallas Cowboys indirectly, though, because they let Dan Quinn walk, and Dan Quinn now is the head coach, and he got the Washington Commandos.
He went to their rivals, bro.
Yes, went straight to the rivals and immediately got the rivals to a NFC championship somewhere where Dallas hasn't been in 20-some years. And then what I like just as much as the fact that they let Kellen Moore walk because of Mike McCarthy wanted to call his own plays. And now Kellen Moore is also out here in the NFC championship somewhere Dallas still hasn't been in 25 years. So I think that it is something that I fell out laughing when both of their lead coordinators said, we out of here then, if that's the case, though, and we gone. And what I think is real crazy about that is that I know for sure that if Dan Quinn was on the Cowboys this past season, that if they would have let Mike McCarthy go, they would have been more comfortable doing so with picking Dan Quinn. So I like that he slid on out of there right ahead of time now, though. So yeah. Let me ask you this though, man. With now the Eagles. So Eagles, Commanders, Bills, Kansas City. Early predictions. What you got?
I have to go with Washington. I mean, you gotta understand. I grew up Washington being my team, and it was by happen. It was a Christmas present that changed my direction. So other than that, I was a Washington guy. Art Monk, Daryl Green, all of them cats like them. That was my squad, right? And then, like I said, a Christmas present changed me to Chicago. So I have to rock with Washington. Of course, that's my dad's team as well. But I wouldn't be disappointed if Philly went. But I think right now I have Kansas City and the Commanders, bro.
Hey, listen, man. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you, bro. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. So, of all the teams left, I would love to see. Not that I have any bias, but I would love to see Buffalo and the Commanders in the Super Bowl. The reason why I would love to see that is because Washington has of the teams left have the longest drought,
Yeah.
right? But I think that I would love to see Buffalo. I would love to see Buffalo in my lifetime win a Super Bowl. And not that it's going to start a dynasty, because to be honest with you, I think all of these teams that are left are very beatable. I think that even though the Kansas City Chiefs are like the number one team left, I've never looked at them and thought they were just world beaters. I just thought that they just know how to win games, close games. But I would still say that I would love to see Buffalo win a Super Bowl in my lifetime, and this is the closest I've seen them since their runs of getting beat by Dallas. But at the same time, I've never seen a three-peat in my lifetime. It's never happened, so I wouldn't be mad if Kansas City won. So I don't know.
I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad at any one of those teams winning. I just like Buffalo is so far down on my list, though. Like I said, I would love to see Washington get it, and then the Chiefs or the Eagles, it wouldn't bother me either. But yeah, I would love to see Washington just for my dad. You know what I'm saying? I think that would just be just such a big thing for him, like to have had his team, his college team, win a national championship recently, and then his NFL team to win a Super Bowl. I just think that would be huge for him.
I agree. And at the end of the day, I still wouldn't mind someone in Dallas's division winning, except for Dallas. So
Yeah.
that's really, at this point, it's mission accomplished.
Basketball. You been keeping up with everything? Because I know you said your viewership has been going down. So have you been watching anything?
All right, so you know what I think is funny? I watched the game yesterday. I watched
What team?
I watched the Boston Celtics beat the snot out of the Golden State Warriors. And here's what I think is crazy, right? When I saw the game, the Warriors were up, but the Warriors were down by like 20. It was early, down by 20. And you know what I honestly believe, bro? I honestly believe that they 40-pieced him all because Steve Kerr didn't play Jason Tatum in the Olympics. I think that they made a mission to where we go 50-piece him if we can. Listen, bro, I honestly believe that, like, don't get me wrong, I like that the Warriors beat the Celtics for their championship that everybody thought they were done with. But I love this, though. I love, because this is the kind of thing that solidifies the I don't like you kind of thing, though, bro. So, yes, I did see that.
Did you see the Thunder and the Cavs?
I saw the Thunders and Cavs in one of the best games I've seen all year.
Bro, the Thunder was on the next level, bro.
Listen, let me tell you this. Listen, tell me why I forgot Donovan Mitchell even played.
What? Bro, Donovan Mitchell is one of my bro. I feel like we friends because what I thought was super dope is I sang the anthem back when this is when he played for the Jazz, like right before he got traded. Sang the anthem. And now at the time, Royce was playing for the Jazz too. So I was super hype about seeing him so I could holler at him about Dana. And but Spider was the one that came and just had a conversation with me in the middle of the court, bro. One of the coolest things, like you thinking this is the guy, right? And the fact that he just came up and just had a smooth like conversation, it was so dope. So dope. Him and Jordan Clarkson.
Let me tell you this, though. It wasn't that I forgot that he was on the team. I'm saying that I forgot he even played in the game because Shai was out there giving them boys that work. I forgot he was even there. I didn't see no highlights. I didn't even see. Listen, I don't remember seeing him score. I mean, it was crazy, bro.
He had 8 points in the game, bro.
That's what I'm saying. It was. I was like, is he hurt himself? I thought that he had like a little rest game because listen. The way how this is what's crazy. I had to explain to my partner Damien about this when I was watching them. I said, "Hey, bro, I watched Shai go for 40 on them boards, but at some point, even when Shai was on the court, I don't even think that Shai was the primary scorer. I saw probably like for like maybe a 10-minute stretch with Shai out there where Shai wasn't the one that was scoring. I saw like a bunch of people. They was making up a bunch of threes that I didn't particularly like. But what I still appreciated the most is that his 40 fit in. It wasn't a forced 40 where it took a lot of shots. It was a 40-point game where everybody else still could do what they do. Everybody was giving you what they had.
29 minutes, bro.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Scored 40
Absolutely
points in
amazing.
29 minutes, bro.
Listen, I can't. I called you after that, and I told you right now, today, there is not another player in the NBA that I would trade in place of Shai. Listen, and you can call it however you want to dress it up. If you want to say who's the best, who's the MVP, whatever, however you want to call it. I'm just telling you that for my money right now, I wouldn't trade. And I love Ant-Man. I love John Morant. Those and Shai. Those are my 3 favorite players to watch. I wouldn't trade either one of those. I wouldn't trade for Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. I wouldn't trade for Kyrie. I wouldn't trade him for Luka. I wouldn't trade him for Joker. I wouldn't trade him for PG. There's no other person to me that it makes sense with that roster to swap out for. It's just it for that matter. Oklahoma just has to win it. I don't see why they have any reason not to. I don't think that they're too young. None of that, bro. I think that this is a win now, ready to go team, though, bro.
Let me ask you this question, though. You the general manager of Oklahoma City, which is not true because Sam Presti is in Sam we trust. Would you trade today, straight up, would you trade Kevin Durant for Chet Holmgren?
Oh. No, I wouldn't.
I'm so surprised to hear you say that.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't
you know
either.
the reason why? You know the reason why? Chet is more defensive minded than Kevin Durant when he's on the court. And when I say that Kevin Durant is a great help defender, right? But I think that Chet emphasizes that more than KD. And to me, quite honestly, I think that what Kevin Durant brings to the team more is this scoring that's unmatched. Don't get me wrong. What the kind of scoring Kevin Durant gives you is unmatched. As long as you don't have Shai out there, because Shai gives you everything that Kevin Durant gives you.
But
I think the only thing that Kevin Durant just gives you a matchup mismatch. That's it, though, bro. But because you got Shai, no, I wouldn't trade Chet for KD,
bro. This is gonna sound crazy, and I'm not gonna sound crazy because I know you gonna be like, exactly, bro. It's almost like when we pulled the plug on Giddey, bro, that it just opened up the possibilities.
Everything looks better, bro. Everything looks better. And listen, I'm gonna be honest. You know who I would trade? I would trade. This is just me. If someone said no, you have to trade for Kevin Durant. You have to, right? If I absolutely had to, maybe I would trade both of the J-Dubs.
You on that Huckabee, bro.
No, you tell me if I absolutely had to make a trade for Oklahoma.
It's easy.
I would trade both.
I would trade Ding, Dylan Jones, Flagler. There is
but nobody's gonna want them. I'm talking about the people that people are
gonna want
gonna
them
want.
draft. They gonna want them draft picks. Listen, the highest I'm
Right.
going.
So both of the J Dubs and a first round pick.
Oh, you crazy.
And that for Kevin Durant, I think that you see this is my thing about it. Because don't get me wrong, that if I absolutely had to, not that I would, but I'm saying if somebody said no, we definitely need you to trade for Kevin Durant, and someone told me that I had to. But in return, you can't just give up. You gotta give me somebody who another team would think is equal value. I think both of the J Dubs and a draft pick is equal to Kevin Durant.
First of all, one of them is J Dub and the other one is J Will.
Jalen Williams, the J Dubs. I call them the J Dubs. Both of them.
You can't call
Trade
yourself
both
a
of
Thunder
them.
fan and be calling people out their names, bro. You can't do it, Charles. Just like how
I got
you
my one Lou Dort.
Yes, you finally calling him by his right name.
Lou Dort.
Hey, Aaron Wiggins, because he cut his hair, I'd trade him just because he cut his hair.
Well, no, bro. I'm saying, like, don't get me wrong. If I'm them, I wouldn't trade nobody, bro.
Oh no,
like, you got all the draft picks for the future.
Yeah.
So I don't. I think I just don't really think that unless you're telling me, you know who I would go if I was them and I would get for free. I would go and get JaVale McGee, bro.
Well, I'm gonna tell you who's legitimate, like somebody who is on the radar for real for the trade deadline is Cam Johnson from Brooklyn.
No. I think that Cam Johnson is good for another team, but not for OKC, bro. Now, don't get me wrong. I think if you give up to me, it would be to me. This is why I look at it. I think when you give up Cam Johnson for somebody, it's an even swap out. I don't think you gain nothing by getting Cam Johnson. To me personally, I think you break even, and if you break it even, you don't need to do that.
Well,
I think the one thing that they need to do is get a. I think that especially with Hart kind of being on and off the court this season, and Chet, I think if you get you another, I would even say JaVale McGee or even like a Dwight Howard. Well, somebody who could just come in and give you strong minutes.
I get that, but that's the reason why they're building up Carlson, because Carlson been out there hooping, right? People didn't even know where he came from. He's the guy that they picked up from the Raptors G League, and he's been out there. He been out there balling, bro. Like he played during the Cavaliers game. He hit like 2 3-pointers like back to back. But what I was gonna say though, yeah, the Thunder have just been playing at an all-time level, and we haven't been completely healthy yet. And this is the crazy part, right? People don't even forgot about Topic. Ain't nobody even brought his name up. Like, bruh, you know we already set for the future. We got another dude another dog that's coming next year.
I think that, like I said, I think that the one thing that, like, even though this boy Carson is a 7-footer, bro, he only 220 pounds though, bro. He got me by 15 pounds. So I'm saying, like, to me, I just think that for the playoffs, I just think that when you think that you're going to have to battle Joker at some point, you're going to have to get somebody who got the beef. And I think that JaVale McGee got that experience. Dwight Howard got the muscle. If you just have somebody who got 5 fouls in them and that just got that good muck, and the Hart might be that, right? That's what I'm thinking. We're hoping.
I think Hart is that, but the thing is that let's not forget the experience that Chet has had against Joker. He plays well against him, and he don't have to bang with him no more because he has. So I'm just saying, like, I understand what you're trying to say. I just think, and you said from the beginning, if we had to make a move, but I'm just saying, I think
we had to.
Yeah. I think we gotta. We haven't even been healthy all year yet. Like Chet and iHeart haven't even been on the floor together yet.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think that, like I said, Chet, listen, bro. Chet and this boy, Carson, both of them boys listen, man, stop playing, bro. Chet Holmgren is 7'1", and he's 213 pounds, bro. Like I said, if I eat heavy today at 6'1", he's a full foot taller than me, and we weigh the same. And that's my only problem is like I know that he's tall and he got the length, but at some point though, bro, the weight is the weight.
I get it, but Joker still. What I'm saying, if you go back and watch all the Denver games against the Thunder, without iHeart, Chet has found a way to play Joker. I'm not saying nobody is going to keep Joker from doing what Joker does. But
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that I would like to see more of, though, right? One of the reasons why Anthony Davis while Joker usually gets the best of him. One of the things I think that makes Anthony Davis a tough matchup for a lot of teams, right? Is because in today's climate, your center isn't getting as many of the touches like Joker and Anthony Davis gets, all right? And so what typically happens, though, man, is that Joker would say, all right, well, if your man isn't getting all these touches, that means I can go at your man and he ain't getting no get back. I only got to work on offense. So I think that Chet at least makes Joker works on offense, right? Gets him out of the paint. He can take him off the dribble, do whatever. I think I get that. I think that the one thing that I would love to see is that when they put Hart and they put Chet on the court at the same time, I think I want to see how Chet plays off that, right? When he's not having to guard and see who his matchup is, because that would make, if they played against the Lakers, right, that would make LeBron James his matchup, right, at power forward. So, or Rui. Like, I don't think the Chet's mad at either one of those at this point, though, man. So, I don't know, bro. I mean, it is interesting, though, bro.
I still don't think they're going to take J-Dub off of LeBron, but I get what you're saying. Or Lou Dort. Lou Dort he loves that matchup.
That's my boy.
You brought up Joker. The Nugs been playing hard since my boy Russ been in the start. They was 13 since that boy Russ been starting. He out there getting the triple doubles and doing the Russell Westbrook stuff, bro. Out there rocking the baby on the people, bro.
You know, I think that this is the thing. So let me ask you this: when people were saying that Russell Westbrook looked washed with the Lakers, right? In your opinion, which is biased, right? Admittedly, but even with that said, in your biased opinion, why would you think people were saying Russell's washed?
Because people don't like the way Russell plays basketball. What I'm saying is, since he played with Oklahoma City, people have been saying that Russ, you included, Russ needs to change the way he plays, right? That's what everybody's been saying. So now you put him on the Lakers and he doesn't get to play the way Russell plays. That's why he looked washed, because he's not able. You're trying to contain Russ in this box. You want him to be this facilitating point guard, and that's not his style. So you don't bring him unless you want him to do him. Denver brought him to do him, and that's what he's doing, facilitating, getting involved, high energy. Like he's playing like Russell Westbrook plays. It's the same way with James Harden. James Harden at the Clippers is way better than James Harden with Brooklyn. So that's what I'm saying. So stop trying to make people play in this system that doesn't work for them. Like, I get that you might say, well, you're never going to win a championship that way. Okay. But the point is, if you know the personality of the person, you can't then try to fit them in this box. And now, so that's why when they try to fit him in that box, it didn't work for the Lakers. And it immediately showed when he went to the Clippers, and now even more so with Denver.
Well, I'll tell you that this is why I think that it worked for. The reason why I think that it worked, it didn't work for the Lakers, is because I think that they didn't have the roster that would allow Russ to do Russ unless he was coming off the bench. And I think that at that point it was still some confusion and conflict on, here's his Hall of Fame player, is he ready to come off the bench? Whereas I think that when he did come off the bench, and then they said, okay, now you can be Russ because we need that on the second unit, because that unit isn't as strong as the starters, it made sense. So when he goes on to the Clippers, and that was what Russ went there for, he signed to do that. it made him being him just mesh well. And I think that especially with the Nuggets were very top heavy. I mean, they had maybe 6 guys. That's it, right? And so I think that Russ automatically improved their bench. And I think that allowing him to do him, even when he's out there clocking minutes with the starters, it looks like while it looks like with Russell, if you made him more of your primary, he could probably still give you 20-some points a game. The same way what James Harden is averaging 20-some points a game because he's getting more shots than what they probably would have got any other time, though.
But it's statistically showing that, though. Since he's been starting, they've won 13 out of, they were 13-4. He's averaging triple doubles. Joker's averaging triple doubles. Like, the numbers support what he's capable of doing and the success rate of it. Like, they have all the stats is there for it. Shows when you do this, then it's more likely that you guys are going to win. And Jamal Murray's name stopped coming up for a while.
Jamal Murray's name is going to always not come up into the playoffs. For some reason, bro, to me, this is what's funny. Jamal Murray, to me, is like the opposite of Buddy Hield, right? Buddy Hield, as long as for like the last 5 years that I've seen, he starts out the year super scorching hot. And you think like, dang, boy, I see why when they say nobody's made more threes in the last 5 years than him. I get it. Klay Thompson's been hurt. He's been shooting them, right? But that thing just goes down so fast. And as the year goes on, his shooting gets worse. Right? But I think that what's crazy to me is that Jamal Murray starts to peak right after All-Star break. And then for him, he just takes off from there, though. So I think that it's good timing. I think Russ has been holding them down and everything like that until then. But I think that it's gonna be interesting though, man. I definitely want to see it though. I'm here for
it. Yeah.
Hey, one more thing on the NBA before you go. All-Star weekend is around the corner though, bro. What we doing about this dunk contest?
Man, first of all, I heard they have the 3-point contest closing the show now.
Yeah.
And then I heard of a couple of rookies that was in it, but I don't know. I told you what my suggestion was: bring some of those, but then none of the people would want to sign up for it because I was like, bring some of them amateur dunkers in there that all they do is dunk. Because they talking. I heard Shannon Sharp talking about the creativity and stuff is gone. I'm like, you obviously ain't seen none of the amateur dunkers because they out here doing some crazy stuff, bro.
And listen, this is the thing about it. I think the thing that this is the thing that really pisses me off about when people say that, right? What really pisses me off is I think that people, the casual fan, just underestimates the difficulty of dunking, bro. Like, I understand that they think, oh, you're 6'6", you should be able to dunk. That's cool. But it's like when you've seen everything, right? It's hard to come up with something no one else has ever seen before, right? It's why the dunk contest that we say these are the top 5 dunk contests. It's a reason why we saw those and we were like, wow, I've never seen that before. So then when you do it on the first try, that makes it even that much more epic. So if someone goes in and repeat that, it's like, yeah, I've seen that, but I've seen a better version of it. So it really pisses me off when I see people talk about the dunk contest when they say, oh, it's not getting created. It's like, bro, we've seen some spectacular dunks and dunking on that level. It's hard though, bro. So I just think that, yeah, I think that it's like we've seen a lot of dope dunks though, bro, over the years. And I just think that you can't just say, oh, we need players who are all-stars to be in it because they're going to get most players are game dunkers, right? Like John Morant is a game dunker. Ant-Man is a game dunker. LeBron, they're game dunkers. I don't think that their dunks are gonna wow you away because you're gonna be like, I think you could have did that in the game though, bro. So I don't know, man, but it makes me mad when people say that it's not as creative. I think that you just you got to change up something. But when people say that, like, I ain't doing nothing, it take people X number of times to get it done. I'm like, bro, stop playing. These dunks that they're doing, like, you make it seem like they're so easy, bro. Like, the attempts are difficult in themselves, though, man.
I mean, I get it. And that's for them to figure out. Because honestly, I'm they're trying to make the game more competitive. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, go back to the East and West format, bro. Like, I just want to see the
I'm
East.
not mad at the format. I'm not mad at the format whatsoever. You'll never be able to change these dudes' efforts, bro. I just don't know how you. I don't know how you do. Listen, I think that there are some things that you can do to get really creative with all of them, especially if it's just an exhibition game, though, bro. Like to me, I would even. You know what I think, bro? This is what I think. If you want to make it, if it's just exhibition, bro, I think that you basically mix up your celebrity game and you add celebrities into your all-star game as well. So when you actually go out there, you get Kevin Hart running the court with LeBron James. You get J. Cole out here dropping the dime off to Kevin Durant. I think that you get, the game out here dropping some dimes off to Jaylen Brown. I think that's to me. I think you do if it's just exhibition anyway. I think that's where I think you can do it. Make the celebrity game. You can have one that's a celebrity game with all celebrities, but then you have the celebrity all-star game, and you throw in celebrities in that though, man. The
Yeah,
best of the best celebrities
I,
out there with the boy.
I still like just the East versus the West. I still like that. Like I liked picking up I mean, not like that, but I'm saying I like the fact that you had the East versus West merch and all of that. Like, I don't know. But I mean, at the same time, I just think people need to change the expectation. Like, stop expecting it to be this killer show of like dominance of the East versus the West. I mean, these dudes is at the same time, nobody want to see nobody get hurt at the All-Star game, man. And so I don't know.
I agree with you. I agree. But still, though, if it's not doesn't because you don't want to see nobody get hurt, they're not going to play that competitive. If you getting 50 dunks, I like the dunks. Just take out the competitiveness out of it altogether. Nobody has nothing to win because nobody has nothing to lose or win in it. Just make it all exhibition, though, bro.
I'm still liking the winner getting some bread or something like that. Like
Well,
I'm
make the winners get bread. Make the winners get bread. But if nah, I don't know.
yeah.
Hey, listen, did you watch the inauguration or any of that?
The what?
The inauguration.
When was that?
45-47 yesterday. Got inaugurated on MLK.
Oh no, it was MLK. I didn't care about nothing else besides MLK.
I do got a question for you though
What's up?
about that. So one of the big things that came out about this was that apparently there was like a crypto ball apparently that was in honor of Donald Trump, right? And amongst the guest performers, Nelly, Big Snoop Dogg, and Big Soldier Boy, right? Now, listen, I think that it's been kind of interesting because I think that one of the things that's the controversial things, right, is that Snoop Dogg had some very harsh words, right, at the time when Donald Trump was in office or running. He was like, "Which one of y'all jigaboos are gonna get on up here and perform for him?" He got on somebody's podcast or show and was like, "Nah, you got your people who support him are racist. Anybody who support him, that's where I stand." And whatever. And then, to everybody's surprise, mine especially, he is one of those people that's performing at something in honor of Trump. So my question to you, Ace Kennedy, does he owe an explanation to his fans for this?
Yeah, he 100% does. Now, Nelly
Okay.
gave his explanation, and that's perfectly fine. He has to know his fan base, right? First of all, a friend of mine was there, so I got to see the personal TikToks of Nelly performing. She was out there. So uh Nelly got to know his audience, bro. I gotta hope that he had a strong enough audience that they can understand what he was trying to say. He overall basically said, listen, what if he would have just left it at the first part, it would have been fine, but he tried to keep going. And that's where I think a lot of people is gonna roast him. But he
Right.
basically was like, I respect the office. Like, there's still a great honor to perform for the president of the United States. Okay.
Even if he would have left it at that, I would have been cool with that.
Yes.
I
Yes.
would have because listen. In the end, right? I've never heard him, and I could be wrong, but I've never heard him be any vocal about one side or party or another, right? So if he would have just said, "Hey, you know what? I'm a neutral. I don't really go for any one. I'm not for this candidate. I'm not against this candidate. I think this person might have some good opinions. I think that Kamala might, or whatever." If he would have just left it at that, I would have been fine if I had not known him having any political comments, commentary, history whatsoever. Respect it when he said, hey, sometimes you got people in the military, and the people in the military, they serve whoever's going to be the head of the state, and I respect the office. He could have left it at that, and I would have been like, okay, you know what? Maybe you're just not the politics kind, right? That's cool, I guess.
But he went further. And so since he went further, then he got some explaining to do too.
He got some explaining.
And for people to go after Ashanti though, it's just like
that's why.
Yeah.
That's
so
why.
yeah, Snoop, I'm a little disappointed with. Now, my brain can make excuses for Snoop, but I would like for Snoop to explain Snoop.
Snoop definitely has some more. Snoop has some more explaining to do because this is my thing. Okay, listen. When all things considered, not that Soldier Boy is any rule of thumb. I just thought Soldier Boy, of all people, would be the one that would say, they gave me too much money. They gave me so much money, I couldn't turn this down. Right? They given who in the climate, they paid me twice the amount of my normal asking fee, and I couldn't turn that down. Right? That's too much money for me to turn down. And even Snoop Dogg, who seemingly has all the money, it seems like he might be well off. Nelly just sold his masters for like 50 million, 100 million. So I don't think that money is an issue. But I think that there still is, even when money isn't an issue, a certain amount of money that some people might feel like, well, damn, I can't turn that down, right? So if they said, hey, we'll give you $1 million. If your normal rate for your fee, your appearance fee for a concert is $100,000, and someone offers you $1 million, like respectfully, I would be like, listen, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. I had to take this L. If this meant that if I had to take an L with some of y'all, my bad. But I'll tell you that I usually make this. This is what they offer me, and I feel that for what my platform and what I'm able to do, I can take that and do whatever. However you want to dress it on up. If that's what Snoop Dogg says, I guess. But I think that the thing that's really crazy is that it's how harsh his criticism was of people who would be potential supporters from our community. So when you become one of those, you got to explain to me why this isn't exactly that to you.
Okay, but does Obama get the same smoke?
No. And here's why. Because I think that the one thing that I can respect, I'm always defend Barack Obama, by the way. So I am biased when I say this. The one thing that I can respect about him is that I think that he understands the office. Out of respect for the office, I'm going to show up there, right? Even though I don't believe that 45 showed up to Biden's inauguration, right? I think that he says, out of respect of the office and the fact that you had all of the living presidents there, I'm going to go ahead and show up on there, though. Now, what I do also respectfully love is Michelle Obama was like, nah, I'm good. I'm okay with that. All the other ones had to go there to show face. And I like the fact that she was just, nah, I'm good. I don't got to.
Yeah. I mean, and then of course another big conversation that happened is right before Biden dipped out of the office, he pardoned his whole family. Preempted. Yep. So people was tripping out about that.
I'm not mad at that because just as soon as he arrived, he pardoned everybody that was involved with the January 6th riots. Everybody got all of them off. right, signed all of the executive orders that were basically intended to undo everything that Joe Biden had did, and was smug about trying to rub it in. So I'm not mad at anything at all that Joe Biden would have done to protect his family. I think that the one thing that I am that not surprised about was that when all of those people, right, he pardoned all of those people who were supporting him. So it basically said that I'm going to reward the people that were loyal to me, but I'm also going to go ahead and persecute the people who wasn't. So I don't know what, like I said, that like it didn't surprise me whatsoever, and I think that that's the reason why it feels like a lot of people are riding with him, so that they kind of have their get out of jail for free card in their back pocket, literally. So I don't know. That didn't surprise me. But listen, I'm gonna tell you this. One of the reasons why I could never rock with these supporters of 45, 47 is when they booed Barack Obama when he came in there upon this announcement. And a lot of those people that booed him. I said, when y'all boo him, nah, I can't rock with y'all at all. Because that shows how night and day we view politics, though, and people and character. So nah, bro. Get off my boy, bro.
Yeah.
Or I'll slap one of y'all.
Yep.
What you got for the week, man?
Trying to get the missus healthy, and that's about it, really, for this week.
You know, this week I'm officially submitting my music for my release date. I think that I already have my by tomorrow. I'm going to submit 2 singles and get my target dates for those. And I think that outside of that, I'm going to go ahead and get the project completely turned in. I've been saying that, but I've been listening to some and making some tweaks finals. But I think that I'm at a point now where, yeah, I can go ahead and finally make the submissions. I'm good with them. And listen, I don't hear I think I hear something, but I don't hear it like that.
Oh yeah, it was definitely the claps.
Oh yeah. I'm pretty excited. I'm gonna tell you, what one of my delays is that I wanted to make sure that I have some content ready for it as well. So I got my content on the back burner. It's warming on up. So that as soon as I go ahead and start dropping these things, I can go ahead and start putting out. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about it though, man. Yeah.
Well, look, man, we appreciate y'all for rocking with us from ATL to OKC. We are the Slash Brothers. We will see y'all on the next one, and we out.